The Lost Village was a fine anime. Maybe slightly underrated. It wasn't amazing, and it wasn't bad. The story's pacing, while quick, does touch on deep themes that stick with you long after finishing. One of the anime's most valid criticisms is how rushed it feels. With such a large cast of 30 characters introduced right from the start, there was a real potential for a longer series that could dive into each character's background and motivations. It felt like The Lost Village was designed for multiple seasons or volumes, and if handled that way, it could have had more time to flesh out its plot. There's a missed opportunity here to explore the group dynamics more thoroughly. It would have been fascinating to watch the show dedicate entire episodes to different characters, using mystery and suspicion to play with our expectations. The quick pacing unfortunately robs the audience of these possibilities, making it hard to fully be immersed in their struggles. Sometimes you just want the show to slow down and let the weight of the scene sink in. Moments that could have had more emotional or psychological depth get lost in the need to wrap everything up within 12 episodes. It seems like the studio was forced to compact an expansive story into a limited run, leaving little room for the characters to actually breathe and reflect on their choices. This condensed approach makes it feel like we're speeding past moments that deserved a little more focus. The mystery and atmosphere are easily among the anime's strongest aspects. The initial hook is effective in drawing in the audience into the deeper narrative, starting with an exposition dump from the tour guide. Normally, I'd be put off by something like this, but here it works surprisingly well. The scene is set against a dark road, instantly establishing the ominous tone. The music adds another layer of suspense, looming quietly in the background, contrasting with the more upbeat tone of Dahara, the tour guide. This combination gives the impression that something bad is going to happen, which successfully draws us in. The character introductions follow quickly after, which is where some larger critiques come into play. The rapid-fire introductions of 30 characters in the span of a few minutes make it seem like we're heading into a longer season-spanning series, and this would have been great if they'd actually fleshed out each character, but unfortunately the show doesn't deliver on that promise. While the brief intros do a decent job of giving us a glimpse into each personality, it's hard not to feel disappointed when so many of these characters are left underdeveloped as the story progresses. Once the bus tour is explained, we're given the setup. Nanaki Village, a mysterious place that doesn't exist on any maps, rumored to be a utopia for those wanting to escape their lives. The travelers each come for their own reasons, many seeking freedom from their past. This setup does a lot of heavy lifting in establishing the story's themes: escapism, the desire for a fresh start, and running from personal trauma. The tension among the group builds quickly, even before they arrive at the village, with clashing personalities and differing motivations, setting the stage for conflict. The real intrigue starts as they approach Nanaki Village. The prelude in the first 2 episodes does a great job building anticipation, giving us just enough tension and glimpses of character dynamics to make the arrival at the village feel ominous and unsettling. Once there, the story shifts gears and the psychological elements kick in. The anime blends mystery, suspense, and horror, with the village's mystery becoming intertwined with the growing paranoia among the group. Suspicion escalates as characters start turning on each other, making the story as much about the psychological unraveling of the group as it is about the village itself. One of the most compelling aspects of The Lost Village is how it handles trauma. The manifestation of each character's past and their Nanaki creates a visual representation of the very thing they're trying to escape. These creatures are born of unresolved emotional baggage, and they force the characters to confront what they've been running from. It's a neat way of externalizing inner turmoil, showing us that the past may physically be left behind, but the emotional scars stay with us. Themes like self-discovery and identity run deep throughout the anime, particularly in the cases of Mitsumune and Masaki. Both characters have unresolved pasts that they can't ignore, and through the events in the village, they're pushed to face these issues head-on. The anime asks a compelling question. Can people truly understand and accept themselves if they keep running from their pasts? The idea of healing through confrontation is central here. Those who are willing to face their demons grow and move forward, while those who refuse to confront their trauma remain trapped, literally and figuratively, within the confines of Nanaki Village. What's impressive is that despite the condensed nature of the show, most of the questions set up early on do get answered. That's something rare for a show this short, and it's a strength in its own right. Even with pacing issues, The Lost Village still manages to leave viewers with a sense of resolution. I'm glad I watched The Lost Village. It scratched that mystery itch I had been looking for. I wouldn't let mixed reviews hold you back from checking it out for yourself. Sure, it might not be an S-tier anime like Attack on Titan or Classroom of the Elite, but it's still absolutely worth watching. In a way, it has that feeling of a classic, like one of those early anime experiences where you're not sure exactly what you just watched, but you know it was something special. Overall, I was not disappointed. 4 out of 5 stars.